What if the thing you've been waiting for permission to receive has already been placed in your hands, and you just keep setting it down? Not dramatically. Not with any big refusal. Just quietly, efficiently. The way you close a browser tab before the page finishes loading. That's what we're looking at today. Two connected patterns that quietly run underneath most of modern life. The first, how the mind talks itself out of love, out of peace, out of anything genuinely good, usually before we even notice it happened. The second, the strange fact that each of us is already carrying something we didn't earn and can't lose. Something we keep forgetting is there. Together, these two patterns explain that exhausting inner voice that says, "I'm fine, but something's missing," while simultaneously refusing to let anything real in. And later in this video, we'll do a short guided practice, not to add another thing to your list, but to help you actually feel what we're talking about, not just understand it. So if you've been feeling like you're doing everything right and it still isn't quite landing, stay with me. There's a specific mechanism at work here, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a project manager, good at her job, well liked. Also, quietly exhausted in the way a lot of us are exhausted, not from any one thing, but from the constant low hum of holding it all together. It's a Tuesday afternoon, 2:47 p.m. Her director forwards an email from a client, and at the top he's added a single line, "This is impressive work." Sarah reads it, and for a fraction of a second, something in her chest warms. There's a flicker. A small, real, human response to being seen. And then, this is the part I want you to watch closely, her mind moves in. Fast. Almost professionally. He probably says that to everyone. He's just being polite. If he saw the parts one cut corners on, he wouldn't say that. 4 seconds. Maybe 5. She closes the tab. That night, she lies in bed feeling vaguely empty. Not sad exactly, just hollow, as if nothing she does quite lands, as if she's working hard in a room where the doors are locked. And here's what she doesn't see. The warmth was real. The door had opened for a moment, and her mind, out of sheer habit, shut it before anything could come through. This is the pattern. Something good arrives. The mind cancels it, and then we wonder why we feel starved. Here's the image I want you to hold on to. Imagine you've been standing at a door for years, pounding on it. You need to get through, there's peace on the other side, or rest, or the sense that your life actually means something. You've tried everything. Different angles, different fists, different strategies. Sometimes you take a break and pretend the door isn't there, but you always come back to it. And one day, someone walks up and hands you a key. Just puts it in your palm. Doesn't say much about it. Walks away. And here's what happens. And this is the part that's almost funny if it weren't so exhausting. You put the key in your pocket. And you go back to pounding on the door. That's it. That's the pattern we're looking at. The teaching isn't about earning the key. It isn't about deserving it or working hard enough to receive it. The key is already there. Right now. In your pocket. The question is whether you can slow down long enough to notice you've been walking around with it. So let's name the first layer of what Sarah does, because it's what most of us do, most days. The mind has learned to deny love before it can land, not because we're broken. Because at some point, letting something good in without armor felt dangerous. Maybe we were disappointed. Maybe we were praised and then criticized in the same breath. Maybe we just noticed that hoping for something and not getting it hurt more than never hoping at all. So we developed this skill. This quiet, efficient skill of intercepting warmth before it settles. A compliment arrives, we deflect it. A quiet moment of peace shows up on a Sunday morning, we reach for our phone. A friend says something kind, we make a joke to move past it. It feels like modesty. It feels like realism. It feels like self-protection. But watch what it actually does. It starves us. We spend the whole day surrounded by small offerings of goodness, and we bat them all away before they can touch us. And then we lie awake at night feeling like nothing lands. This is what it means to talk yourself out of peace before peace can settle. And the first move, the only move, really, is just noticing it. Not fixing it. Not judging it. Just seeing, oh, there it is again, I did the thing. Here's the second layer. And this is where the shift starts. What if you didn't arrive here empty? What if the thing you've been trying to manufacture, the sense of worth, the sense that you're okay, the sense that your life has weight, was never actually something you were supposed to build from scratch? Think about how much of your energy goes into proving, performing, earning your place, constructing a version of yourself that finally deserves to relax. It's exhausting because it's an infinite project. There's no finish line. The bar keeps moving. But what if something has already been entrusted to you, not as a reward, not as a prize you unlocked, just placed in your hands, quietly, before you started running the race? Something that doesn't depend on your Tuesday performance. Something that isn't revoked when you have a bad quarter. You don't have to believe anything specific here. You don't have to sign up for a worldview. All I'm asking is, what if it were true? What if the reason nothing you achieve ever quite fills you up is that you've been trying to earn something you already have? Here's where Sarah's story turns. It's not dramatic. Real turns rarely are. It's a few days later. She's cleaning out her inbox and she comes across the forwarded email again. This is impressive work, and this time, she pauses. She doesn't try to make herself believe it. She doesn't try to squeeze validation out of it. She just doesn't close the tab. And something small happens. She notices that the warmth is still there. It didn't go anywhere. It was just waiting for her to stop pounding on the door long enough to feel what was already in her hand. She doesn't become a different person. She doesn't have an epiphany. She just, for a moment, stops blocking what's already there. And her chest gets a little softer. And she goes back to work. That's what this looks like. It's not fireworks. It's a Tuesday afternoon where you let one good thing in. So what changes, if any of this lands? Honestly, Your calendar doesn't change. Your inbox doesn't change. The people around you don't suddenly become easier, but your relationship to all of it starts to loosen. That constant low-grade anxiety of holding life together with both hands, that starts to soften. Not because you fixed it. Because you noticed you didn't have to grip so hard. You live 1 degree less defended. That's it. Not enlightened, not transformed. Just slightly less in the way of what's already here. A compliment lands. A quiet moment gets to be quiet. Someone's kindness reaches you before your mind intercepts it. And the exhausting inner voice that says, "I'm fine." But something's missing, it gets quieter. Not because something arrived. Because you stopped canceling what was already here. Let's take a few minutes together now. Not to add anything, just to notice what's already in your hands. If you'd like more teachings and guided practices like this, you can like the video and subscribe. And now, we'll move into a short guided meditation. Let's settle for a few minutes. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to. Just let your gaze soften, or let it rest somewhere neutral. Feel the weight of your body in the chair, or wherever you are. Let the surface underneath you do its job. It's holding you, you don't have to help it. Take a breath, let it be an ordinary one. Nothing performed. And another. Notice that you don't have to make this moment into anything. There's no version of this you have to get right. Now, gently, bring your attention to your hands. Just feel them, the temperature, the stillness, the small weight of them, and imagine, just for a moment, that something has already been placed there. You don't have to know what it is. You don't have to name it. Just consider the possibility that your hands are not empty. Breathe. Notice the part of you that wants to argue with this. That's okay. Let it be there. You don't have to convince it. You don't have to push it away. Just keep letting your hands be full. And now, feel your chest. The area around your heart. See if there's any place there that's braced. Any place holding on, and offer it a small permission. To not have to hold so tightly, just for these few breaths. You're not trying to receive anything. You're just not blocking what's already here. Let a breath move through you, and another. If a thought comes in that tries to close the tab, that says, "This isn't working," or, "I don't feel anything," just notice it. That's the pattern. You don't have to fix it. You just have to see it. And come back to your hands. Come back to your chest. Come back to the quiet fact that you're here. And something is already true about you that you didn't have to build. Rest here for a moment. No agenda. Nothing to earn, just this. And when you're ready, not before, let your attention widen. Feel the room around you. The sounds. The light, your breath, still moving on its own, and carry this quietness with you, gently, into whatever comes next. We're glad you practiced with us today. If it's helpful, a free digital copy of A Course in Miracles is available via the link in the description. You're also welcome to leave a short comment like, "I am grateful," Thank you for being here. For giving these few minutes to yourself. And for being willing to look at something as ordinary and as strange as the way we close doors on our own good. Be gentle with the pattern when you see it show up later today, because you will see it. And that's actually the whole point. Nothing to fix. Just notice. And notice what's already in your hands. Take care of yourself out there.